Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tito Clock. So please welcome your host, James Deacon.
Hey guys, what's up? We are on, at least I hope we're on. What's up, people? It's Tita Clock. It's Friday. It's Tita James here. And with the rest of the gang, we got X, we got Y, we got Z. We got a full house here all the way through till 6 p.m. Really sorry about this whole being a little bit late business, we're just trying to get a few things organized. But as usual, we had our fair share of dramas. Any Tita Clocker will know what I'm talking about because it wouldn't be a normal Tita Clock if we didn't have some technical gremlins and stuff like that. So why don't we get straight into it, and then I'll catch up later with all the cuento, the chismes, etc. But for right now, let's jump straight into the headlines of the day because Chris has been standing by and just to give us the latest. So Chris, what you got for us there? Let's try and bring Chris in.
Hello, sound check. Can you hear me properly? Tita James, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Yes, I think they can hear me.
But I'm assuming she's
Not
on.
yet?
Yes.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing fine today. I think I can hear myself also.
Oh, sorry. I thought we can hear you.
All right. Again, good afternoon, everybody. It's another gloomy Friday today. And here are today's news. Two major telecommunications companies in the country will be affected by emergency maintenance activities on an international submarine cable system. PLDT Incorporated said on Thursday that the operator of the Asia-America Gateway will conduct maintenance work from 9 a.m. of September 26 to 5 a.m. of September 30. AAG said they have been substantially investing in boosting the capacity of its cable system to ensure services remained available to its customers, including those of its subsidiary Smart Communications Incorporated. Also affected is Sky Cable, which has advised its subscribers of an internet slowdown starting 8 a.m. of September 25 to 5 a.m. of September 30. The companies are working with their technology partners to minimize the effects of this activity to subscribers. Netizens expressed concern that the scheduled repair on the AAG would affect online schooling and productivity at work. A number of schools have announced the suspension of synchronous online learning during maintenance period. The National Bureau of Investigation warns the public about online jobs that offer immediate work and earnings. According to NBI Cybercrime Division Chief Victor Lorenzo, before applying to online jobs, verify if the company is registered under the Securities and Exchange Commission and check for testimonials of success stories from people currently working with the company. Teleradio's Lingkod Kapamilya program received a report from Mimay, who applied online to work from home as an online English tutor in June with an offer of 300 to 500 pesos per hour, but have not started working until now. Mimay was required to pay a subscription fee of 1,299 pesos and undergo training. She was also encouraged to recruit applicants for a fee. The applicants have asked the company for a refund for their payment, but were threatened to be removed from their group chat. Mimay has to file an official complaint to the NBI office for them to take immediate legal action. In Beijing, Bloomberg Billionaires Index showed businessman Zhong Shanshan, who spun his wealth from bottled water and vaccines, has surpassed tech tycoon Jack Ma as China's richest man. Shanshan's net worth has hit $58.7 billion after a massive listing by the bottled water company in Hong Kong earlier this month, which makes him $2 billion richer than previous number one Alibaba founder Jack Ma. Zhong's Nongfu Spring, which claims to be number one in China's massive bottled water market, is all over a country where most people shun tap water for health reasons. Zhong is also the chairman of Beijing Wantai Biological Pharmacy Company Limited, a vaccine manufacturer that listed on the mainland in April. The pharmacy is developing a COVID-19 vaccine nasal spray. Zhong, a 66-year-old former reporter from Zhejiang, is often referred to by Chinese media as a lone wolf for his rare public appearances and reluctance to be interviewed. World-class destination Boracay is expected to reopen its doors to more tourists in October, but visitors will have to go through strict health checks. In a resolution released by the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases, effective October 1, 2020, Boracay Island may accept tourists from areas within a community quarantine classification of general community quarantine or lower, apart from travelers from Western Visayas. Boracay visitors must first take a coronavirus test and undergo a strict quarantine until the date of travel to the island. Tourism Undersecretary Benito Bengzon said on Thursday that all guests must have pre-arranged reservations. Furthermore, the IATF-EID also said that age restrictions for visitors will be relaxed, but restrictions will be imposed among those with more than one disease or condition. IATF-EID also reminded that a local COVID-19 laboratory on the island must be operational. Way up north, Baguio City has set the target to finally reopen its doors to local tourists starting October 1st. According to the tourism department, the city of Pines was supposed to welcome bubble tourists from the neighboring Ilocos region on Tuesday, but was pushed back after the city reordered its highest single-day spike of 43 new COVID-19 cases over the weekend. Tourism Secretary Berna Romulo Puyat said the rise in coronavirus infections was brought by increased testing protocols in the area. She also explained authorities wanted to further improve the city's online management system before rolling out the much-awaited tourism bubble. Meanwhile, the health department noted that its pilot study on the use of antigen testing for COVID-19 will also kick off in Baguio City on October 1. Puyat said the pilot studies will cover around 3,000 individuals who will be subjected to both antigen and polymerase chain reaction tests. And finally, actress Liza Soberano has sought legal action against a netizen who, in an online comment, threatened to have her raped. Her network, ABS-CBN, and management Star Magic aired support for the celebrity, stating that her legal counsel filed a libel, threats, and unjust vexation complaint. The company applauds Liza's courage to protect her dignity as a woman, and that rape is not a joke. The topic "rape is not a joke" trended nationwide days ago, with Soberano's fans rallying behind her in light of the remarks that went viral. And those were the headlines today, Tita James. Let's take a look at the inbox this time.
What we got in there? Wow, that's pretty heavy duty stuff with Liza Soberano. I hope she
Yep.
pursues that. That's
Yep.
that's funny at all when you joke about that. What we got in the
That
inbox,
is
by
true.
the way?
Yes, we have 6 things to show everybody. The first one is the 10-day bike ride from Parañaque to Samar by a
Oh, wow.
19-year-old.
Hey, that's pretty
Yes.
cool. What did he do that for? Was that for charity, for awareness? What
And
was that?
I think he just really wanted to come home because he lost
Okay.
his job. So
Oh my.
his determination was admired by many, and I think it had nearly 3,000 shares in just
Wow.
12 hours,
So
if I
it's
read
got
it
nothing
right.
to do. Wow, that's pretty amazing. So it's really just out of pure necessity. This is just a
Yes.
story of survival and coping with the lack of transportation or lack of money to be able to get to where he needs to go. Wow, that's pretty amazing. I hope we can do something for this guy. If we can track him down, be nice to give him something. What else we got there?
That is true. Next up is a video of a bus hitting the barrier. I'm not sure
Again?
if this is along EDSA. Yes, the red one right there. and then causes traffic, and the motorcycle behind the silver vehicle falls, and there, traffic
Wow.
builds up.
These barriers really need to be disciplined. These barriers are getting out of control. They're just jumping at us. These things are just, yeah, they're obviously not safe.
They
They're
cannot
moving
be
around.
controlled.
Let's blame the
They
barriers.
have to go to jail.
Yeah, I mean, I know that we have some issues with there are some space issues here, but come on, the barriers were there first. All right, they were there. They've been there
Yeah.
long enough. These buses just can't seem to drive. Okay, next up we got.
Yes,
Unbelievable.
the overloaded pickup photo.
The overloaded.
Uh, Pickup photo.
Okay.
I think that's colored white, and with they have bikes in there. I think they have the whole house in there. There you go.
That's another bahay. Well, I don't see anything unusual with this.
Nothing new to
That's
see here.
that's like Jenga on wheels, man. That's amazing. That's pretty amazing. That doesn't even look like it's here, is it? Is that over here? What's that plate number? That
NH.
doesn't matter. It's pretty amazing still. It's a pretty
Yeah.
amazing. Wow.
I hope they're safe though. I hope they're safe. They safely
Absolutely.
made it to their destination.
Wild, good, wild. Okay, go on.
Yep. Next one is something that you posted. I think this morning. A toppled
Yeah.
over vehicle in NLEX.
Yeah, timely reminder about especially this wet weather that we're having. Just be careful and be extra safe because this happened yesterday on the NLEX. No details, but just as a reminder that guys, anything can happen out there, especially when things get a little slippery. So be extra alert, extra vigilant.
Yes, please.
Mm.
Thank you for that reminder, Tita James. And next up, we have the car sticker. Another witty car sticker.
Yeah, this was for my friend Vince. Yeah, it's just another time to reminder that, hey, this magical light over here, it means I'm turning. Yeah, I know a lot of people would be shocked by that. They'll be like, oh, that's a very novel idea. They should really make this a mainstream thing. Well, newsflash, it's mainstream everywhere else except here.
It is. That is correct.
And while we're on this topic, when you don't use them to tell people it's raining. We know it's raining. We can see it. You don't need to put those hazard lights on to say, uy, umuulan. Yeah, we can see it. We're right behind you. We're in the same atmosphere. So don't use it unless you are the one who's a hazard on the road, meaning your car is broken down and you're stopped. Don't drive with your hazard lights on is what I'm saying. It's not the way they were designed to be used, and it confuses people. So that's another safety reminder. Ano pa?
Yep. Last up is the fake offertory people.
Yeah, this is pretty wild, because I don't know how much they made they were making before they got caught, but yeah, they just walked around. I don't even know if they're technically, if they even went out of their way to put a uniform on, or they just walked around and just used bags people were money.
I'm not sure, but the bags look legit, like as if it came from the church.
All right. I mean, obviously there was effort in this, and this reminds me of you mga, when people just assume, it's just they'll give money to whoever sort of looks official, just in the same way that we give our information to anyone that asks nowadays, because COVID daw, contact tracing, but what are they really doing with that information? It always worries me, So just always make sure that whoever you're giving money to is actually the person. There's actually a story from the UK where somebody did this, but for years, not just for one day. He actually did it. Yeah, he did it for a zoo, and he was a public zoo, and he would just charge people. Tour buses were like £5, and then cars were like £2, and he did that for years before retiring. And then eventually, when people were asking about where the parking guy is, the city turned around and said, we've never had a parking guy there. They said, what?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it became a viral story in the UK that somebody actually made a career out of just collecting parking money, and people just thought he was legit. So be careful who you hand your money.
Wow. That is so true. That's incredible.
Thanks very much, Chris. So thanks for all of you. Appreciate it. You have yourself a good weekend. Stay dry, safe, and wash your hands.
You too. Bye, everybody. Bye, Tita James.
All righty, that was Chris with the latest in headlines. And for those who were like wondering, who's Chris? What's this new voice? Well, we did announce before that we're trying out different people just to make the Tito Clock team a little bit bigger and have a little bit of fun with it, and also give people experience, especially if they're trying. This is something they want to get into. A good way to get experience. Just go on air and read the news. Gives a bit of variety as well to our Tito Clockers, because we get a little bit of an update of what's going on, and it just adds, I don't know, little layers to the show that makes it interesting, different textures type of thing. And another one of those textures that we always add onto Tito Clock, especially when it's a Friday, is the now very infamous Free Plug Friday. And for that, we cross over live to XX. What you got in the inbox, X?
All right, guys, we actually have a lot in store for you today. But before we go there, I just want to say hi to all the Tito Clockers out there. Welcome to another edition of Rainy Day Free Plug Friday. Let's start the day with a fresh cup of drip coffee. Especially now na maulan, sarap i-pair niyan with kape and tinapay.
I'm going to get one right now. Excuse me as I go off my...
What flavor is that?
I'm not sure yet. You keep talking.
Well,
I'm going to
let me
keep
see.
trying.
All right,
Hang on a
guys,
second.
Zip and Brew has different flavors. Oh, I think that's the Barako. There's a Barako, there's a Gada, Arabica, Benguet, Caramel, Mocha, and Irish Cream.
I'm literally trying it now. Which one's this?
Oh, but I think Tito James actually looks like the Irish Cream pala.
Irish cream. Oh, to be sure.
All right, they have these available in 150, 500 grams, 1 kilogram, and can even be sold per piece that starts at 15 pesos. Hope you can check them out. You like it, Tito James?
I like it.
Awesome, guys. So hope you can check them out on Facebook and Instagram, Zip and Brew. Next, we go to Sati's Kitchen. It's a small home-based business that offers these really cheesy chicken Alfredo. Oh my gosh. That was really cheesy, and it's perfect even if you try the day or 2 days after.
Especially 2 days after. The cheese gets extra sticky and then it's really good.
Yeah.
Is that so? It's a pasta?
Yeah,
Is that a pasta in there?
It's enveloped with a chicken, pasta, and the special sauce that they have that just makes it really, really good.
Yeah, it's almost. I mean, I don't know if it's a hint of mustard or what they're putting. It's a creamy sauce.
Yeah.
And then it's got the chicken. It's got that layer of pasta of some sort. It's really nice.
It's
You don't
really
need an extra carb. No
No.
more another rice, no more another bread. That's it. It's a meal in itself.
That's it, guys. Hope you guys can check them out. They also have takoyaki and Hokkaido cheese tarts as well. Sati's Kitchen on Facebook and Instagram. Next, we go to Malabon Food Cravings. These
You
guys.
don't need to go all the way to Malabon anymore for your food cravings. They come to you.
Also, the good thing about this is they're also raffling off 2,000 pesos worth of food.
That's a lot of food. That's more. That's plenty for a family of, let's
It's
say,
plenty.
what, 6, maybe 4 to 6.
Yeah, that's a lot. And speaking of which, just want to share with you guys what they sent over to the Tito Clock studio. They sent over their pancit luglog, crispy pata, puto with salted egg, empanadas, pichi-pichi, biko Aureliano bangus, quick yum, to name a few. Oh my gosh. All right, hope you can check them out. Malabon Food Cravings on Facebook and Instagram.
Panalo yung pansit nila.
Panalo yung pancit and even the palitaw with yema. That was
Oh yeah.
a very interesting one. All right, guys, next, of course, we have go to drinks. We have a lemonology.ph. Lemonology PH offers drinks. The ones that they send over to us to try is the honey ginger, guyabano, mango Yakult with nata, and the blue flower lemonade.
I knew this was serious business when I saw it. That's why it's like a lemonology. It's like they took a course in making these drinks. Really, really good. But before we do that, big shout out and happy birthday to Michael Higuti. That's their boss over there. Happy birthday, man. And thanks for these lemony drinks. Really, really good. I now know where the name comes from because parang pinag-aralan nila yun. Huh? Is that the word?
Yes, but
Wow, Tagalog na si Tito James. You know it's serious.
That's correct. Guys, they have branches in Manila, namely in Tondo, Maceda, and LRT Central Station. But you can also order online via their Facebook, Instagram, or in Foodpanda. Hope you can check them out. Lemonology PH. Next, we go to Tanet's Brownies and Cheesecakes. This is a dessert shop that's being run by a fur mom. As I know that because she said that she has a very, very cute dog. Anyways, she sent these assorted box of brownies and these really, really soft melt in your mouth crinkles.
Crinkles were hers.
Yes. And
Oh
even
my
the brownies
gosh, you
were
should
hers.
have a license for that. That's deadly. That's actually almost that is one of the most chocolatey crinkles I've ever had.
Yeah.
And then minsan there's even like a bit of a chunk of like actual
know.
chocolate in there. It's like, oh my gosh. It's like
Yes.
almost feels, I don't know if it's sadya or not. It's like there's a chocolate chip inside the chocolate
I know. It's
crinkle.
so good.
It's so good. It's so
Yeah.
good.
It could actually give the crinkles of ADB a run for their money.
Wow,
if you've
that's
tried it.
heavy
because
duty. That's a heavy duty
Yes.
accusation or endorsement right
I would,
there.
I
huh?
would say, I would confidently say that yes, it would be up to par with the crinkles of ADB without the hassle of having to get someone who's from ADB who can buy the crinkles for you. But anyway, guys, hope you can check them out. Tanette's Brownies and Cheesecake on Facebook and Instagram. Last but not the least, we have Himalayan Salt Lamp by Misa.
Wow.
Salt lamp, Tita James.
This is not something to eat.
Himalayan salt lamp.
I'm used
Well, I
to FPF
kinda-
being
maybe we
stuff
can-
to eat and it's got salt in it.
Maybe we can use it for condiments for some of the food.
But wait. I like the look. It's cool. Are you
Mhm.
saying that but are there other benefits to a lamp like that? I mean, because it's salt.
Apart from its aesthetic value, Himalayan salt lamps prove to purify the air by attracting water vapor, reduces electromagnetic radiations.
So that's legit salt. That's not
That seems like legit salt, but it's from the Himalayas, Tito
Okay.
James. And also it eases asthma and allergy symptoms, Tito James. And best part is it can even boost your mood and promote better sleep. Plenty of people have been trying this. I hope you can check them out as well. Himalayan Salt Lamp by Misa. Well, guys, that's all we have for this week's edition of Free Plug Friday. Hope you guys can check them out. Bye. Peace out. This is X.
I'll get it right one day, I'll get all that music mixing right. It's just yeah, we're back. What's up? That Himalayan salt lamp is really it is really cool. I'm just staring at it on the desk there. It's got some vibes, man. It really does have some vibes, and it's heavy, huh? It's kind of just in case, because it actually I had to actually lick it. No, okay, I didn't. I had Rocket lick it to see if it was really salt. So kind of cool. A bigat, and it does change the mood because I like the way the look is, especially that shot that you took there, X. Looks good. Okay, so Rocket, come here. Everyone's asking about you. Rocket, come here, Rocket. You little okay. Come here, Rocket. Okay, he's shy today. Oh no, he can't figure out how to get through the microphones and stuff for once in his life. So that was Free Plug Friday. We got the news. We've got what else did we get? We got the news. We got the inbox. You know what I didn't do though, which I'm kind of feel a little bit kind of awful about, is I never really put some little bit of music in the background there. I didn't do any greetings today, so Rocket's gonna help me do some greetings. Bea Juan, hey Rocket. Hey Rocket. She says hello, Rocket. Who else we got out there? Ian, Fabon, Olivia, Draven, I guess. Millet. Rocket, Yeah, Rocket actually switched off the music. Yeah, stepped on the music. There you go. So, multi-talented Rocket. May Ann's out there, Chris. He's literally just underneath here. Just sitting there right off the camera right now. He's just licking my Himalayan salt hands. Okay, so I can't see what we got there backstage. Just let me know. Just give me a shout out because we do have a friend coming on board to plug his what's going on. He's got a show coming up, and so we'll just wait for him. Alex Calleja's got something going on this weekend, so we invited him to plug his show and let us know what's happening. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for him, what else we got going on there? Let's have a bit of a chat about whatever you want. So pop me a message if there's something you want to know about between now and the raffle time. But while we're waiting for Alex, do you have pictures of what we did today? We had a guest today. We had a very it's a little too, am I putting you on the spot there? We had a guest who dropped by the studio, and this guest, I don't know if you know or follow her, but we're going to be doing a bit of a collab together. I don't know if I should even be saying this as early as now, but I'm really excited because, okay, it's El Uy, all right? So El Uy, if you don't know her, it's this really cool interior decorator that has had her YouTube account for about a couple of years now. So 2 years. And in those 2 years, she's built up almost 700,000, I think it is, 600 something thousand followers in like 2 years. She's amazing. So I invited her over and we had this chat. We're going to be doing a little collab, so I'm super excited about that because she gave so many different ideas for the studio as well. And I'm looking forward to it because her style is she asks you what you need and all that, what you're looking for, what your main objectives are. And then from there, she surprises you. So it's going to be a grand reveal that's going to happen at some point. And I'm really, really excited because she's also the kind of person that prioritizes practicality and not unnecessary expenses. She's not into unnecessary expenses. So she works with what you've got. So as you can see over in the studio, we've got the TV and stuff like that. Okay, we got the couches and stuff. So she's going to help place the furniture in places where she thinks is a bit better, etc. But I think where the magic really comes in is how she's going to tie in the whole studio with this new look. Because when this studio was designed, it was designed pre-COVID, right? So it was a completely different world back then. And furniture was also ordered at, basically what I'm saying is, if you look at this space and then you look at the next space, which is the kitchen, it looks like you're in two different apartments and it doesn't look cool at all. And it takes somebody special to be able to tie it in. So I think Blank Space Architecture have done an amazing job on building the place and building this. You see that? It looks like it's a completely different view. You got the country kitchen looking thing over there with all those strange tiles and into this brick and Gotham looking place. So she's going to have her hands full trying to tie it all into one look, and I can't wait to share that with you. And looks like nobody cares about the apartment. They care about this guy over here. So, yeah, you know what, Rocket? I tried showing them the apartment. I tried showing them the new studio, but everyone keeps asking about you. And you know what? While we're on this topic, I got to get something off my chest. I think it was last week. I can't remember when I was talking. It was something super, super in-depth, the topic. And Rocket came up and said hello, and nobody heard a single word I said. I watched the replay, and I could literally see all your attention just vanishing into thin air as soon as Rocket started doing this. So again, I could be just announcing the alphabet. I could be doing prayers. You wouldn't know. You'd just be looking at Rocket. And this guy, this is why he should host the show, because he doesn't even have to say anything. He just has to show up, and he's got an audience already. Rocket, the rocket launcher. So, yep, he's over here, ready to steal the show. And he just waits for raffle time. He just loves raffle time, because raffle time is when everyone gets excited, and that's when he gets into his mood and all that kind of jazz. Any comments, reactions regarding the closure of U-turn slots in EDSA, Marvs? You know, sakit ng ulo. Okay. Yes. In theory, they have a point. Okay. But this usually, in theory, it always starts well in theory, but the devil's always in the details. So the idea of blocking U-turns is fine if you can have a good system of right turn, and then make that eventual left turn. So we don't have that. If you look down EDSA and you think about how many opportunities where you could have taken a U-turn, what is the added length and distance of the alternative U-turn? Because you can't stop people from basically turning over to the other side, right? So you basically can't stop people from going left, is what I'm saying, right? People have to go where they have to go. Putting real rules and stuff is not going to change that. What you need to do also is make sure that if you're going to close the U-turns, you have an alternative way for them to execute the same type of thing without adding them on 15, 20, 30, and even longer minutes to your journey because of that. And that's where I see is going to be a problem with the EDSA ones. So while theoretically I completely understand you cannot have a bus rapid transit system when you still have U-turns open, that makes perfect sense. Obviously, they've got to figure out a way there. But what I'd like to see is a lot more investment in how we're going to execute the alternative to that U-turn. Please, whatever you do, just don't take away the U-turn and not replace it with something that is just as efficient, if not more efficient. Because if we're just going to what the saying goes, rob Peter to pay Paul type of thing, where we're just going to give the buses but take away from everyone else. You're not going to have balance. You're going to have chaos. So yes, I agree in theory that should be done, but I really would like to see how they're going to do the alternative routes and how they're going to be able to, what's your alternative to execute a U-turn or eventually turn left is what the people are trying to do. Okay, because that scares me. Okay, off-topic question for Easy Trip RFID users. Can we just tap the card at the toll? The chip installed in my headlamp seems not functioning given this rainy season. Yes and no, because I can only tell you that I tried I think it was the Pay Maya tap system when they first opened, and it wasn't very effective, put it that way, for me. And so I stopped using it. I don't know if they've improved that system of the tap and go, but I found it didn't work for me, so I just kept it on the headlight. So if I were you, if what happens normally is if you go off to the just go through the RFID. If it doesn't work, you just hand your card over, right? And then they will scan your the QR code on your card, and then that way they'll just charge it. So I wouldn't worry about the tap thing. Just make sure that you have your sticker. They'll check it. They'll check against the card, and then they'll just deduct your account. It's a lot easier. Electric scooters. Oh, Myrna. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Mahaba. The electric scooters. That was also seemed like something that was also another jumping of the gun on behalf of the LTO, because turns out that the DOTR secretary himself, Secretary Artugada, is not in favor of it. So what does that tell you when the Secretary of Transport himself goes on the air and says that he does not understand or support the idea of licensing these things, especially at this timing? So I'm not sure where the motivation is coming from, who started it, who's the one proposing it, but it really doesn't make a lot of sense, you know? Having said that, I'm not totally disagreeable to the idea of registering them. And the reason I say that is, even though I'm a user and I have one and it's very convenient, I do recognize the dangers of them, because they can get very, very, very fast. Mine does about 70 kilometers an hour, and on a stand-up scooter, that's dangerously fast. I mean, like really dangerously fast. Even for somebody who has quite a lot of experience behind motorized vehicles, I've spent 20 years reviewing them and driving them on racetracks and everything. Even I have to say that that's quite a lot of power for anyone, including myself. And I'm very, very careful because it's a different dynamic. The wheels are smaller. You can get yourself in a lot of danger. So for that, I, of course, agree with the fact that we should educate people. Now, what I really wanted to make sure I got clear here, Myrna, and anyone else who wants to know about this, is that let's not confuse registration with safety. In the same way that when the LTFRB were harassing Uber, they were saying, kailangan may franchise yan, kailangan may ano yan, kasi unsafe. A little piece of paper does not mean safe or safer, as we've seen from all the jeepneys and taxis and buses out there. Okay, the only thing it does is formalize that chaos, because you've literally given them technical approval to run. But there's anything but roadworthy, right? They're anything but roadworthy, and yet you give them the piece of paper, which gives them the confidence to go out and think that they're legal when they're more dangerous than anything else that you can get on the road. That's colorum, right? So that's what I wanted to make clear. Let's not make the mistake of always trying to equate safety and registration, or registration equals safety. That's not automatic, okay? You have one without the other in this country. So let's focus na lang on safety, because I believe that we do need to have guidelines there. Now, as far as licensing concerned, well, I think once you hit a certain bracket in power, then fine. Okay, maybe we can consider using your motorcycle license, not necessarily a new license. Your motorcycle license, if you already ride a motorcycle, will already be applicable for the stand-up scooters of a certain power. Then you also have the three-wheeled types, right? You can't put that into the same basket as the stand-up scooter. You have these parang glorified shopping trolley types. I don't know if you've seen those. They look like something that you would use in a mall. Well, those things should never be on the road. You know, if you want to ride them in your village, fair enough, but not on public roads. Definitely not outside your village. Those are unsafe. They can cause a lot of chaos. Definitely not. So why would you register those if you can't drive them on the road? And these are the things that worry me as well, because if you do say, sige, lahat ng electric bikes, i-register mo na. So you register these guys, and what happens? They think now, di pwede na ako sa open road, may registration na ako eh. And that's where it becomes, look, dude, seriously? So you've given them this false sense of confidence, this false sense of compliance, this false sense of being legitimate, when they're not. They're not legitimate forms of transport on public roads because they can't keep the pace of regular moving traffic, right? So that's how I feel about that, Myrna, and the rest of those who are asking. And then the e-scoot speeds. Well, Roland, yes and no, because it's a good point. I know what you're getting at, is to reduce them to 20 so that they remain safer. But if they can ride on the road at 40 to 50 to 60, well, then that's fine, right? That should work out pretty well. So my main goal here would be to look at them as a solution rather than a problem. But we always tend to do it the opposite. For every solution, they have a problem for every solution. And that's what the mind way of thinking I want to break. Is let's look at this as, how will this impact other forms of transport? How can this decongest? It's not going to decongest on EDSA, but you could develop a road network around BGC, Ortigas, Mandaluyong, and Makati. Imagine just those cities alone that are now linked by bridges, and more bridges are going to happen. You've got the BGC bridge, which will be open early next year. That will link Ortigas and BGC. You've got the Rockwell Bridge, which will link Mandaluyong to Rockwell again very soon. That's next year as well. So you have these. The Makati Mandaluyong, of course, is there as well. So with these, you can literally create a transport network for these types of vehicles and the bicycles. So think about it like that. If you're LGUs or if you're the DOTR and you look at that space and go, okay, how are we going to be able to develop this transport and encourage or incentivize their use? That's what you should be looking at. Because if you could decongest the Jeeps, the tricycles, the buses, etc., and then you favor this type of transport, again, study it first. Don't just take my word for it. You have to study the space. And then with studying the space requires full development so that you can encourage the behavior that you want to drive in your city. It's always about that. Urban planning is solely about influencing the behavior that you want to see in your city. If you want to see more people on bicycles, create more vehicles, more bike lanes, so that those vehicles can use them. If you want to see people using more buses, then create more bus lanes, BRTs, etc. But what we do here is we just sort of let the space grow, and then we react. And when I say we, I'm talking the authorities. The authorities react, and then they react basically because, uy, may kita ba to? And that's wrong. That's wrong. It should never come from a revenue-raising standpoint. Now, I understand later the revenue-raising will need to come, but first develop the program. What are you going to do with that revenue? Because you collect the revenue so that you can develop the roads or you can develop that program. Does that make sense? Because think about those four city concepts that I'm talking about. Makati, Mandaluyong, Ortigas, and what was the other one? BGC. Put those four cities together through this and create this route. You draw the route, you encourage the route, you barrier it off, and then you watch that e-space community grow. And if it grows, then it was successful. You make more of them. If it doesn't grow, you can say, well, you know what? We tried it. It didn't really click, and you move on to the next thing. But just don't go straight into the registration thinking that that's legitimizing it. That's how I feel about that. Somebody said about GCash being, I missed that. Any thoughts about GCash implementing convenience fee? Mika, I must have missed that because I was asking the team about that yesterday, because I know that InstaPay is now going to be introducing October 1 their various charges, or the banks will have their various charges for InstaPay. And I was asking about GCash nga, and there was everyone at the table was saying, no, GCash wala pa. Unless you're, well, obviously I don't know about the cash in, but when you're sending GCash to GCash, because that looked like an alternative to skip those bank fees, right? So what do you know about that? Share it with me and then I'll react to it, because as far as I know, I didn't realize GCash would have a transaction fee between users. But now's your chance to educate the Tito, okay? What else we got there? Carinia. May charges now. What are the charges, Jeanette? Share naman. No? I'm a little bit huli sa balita with this, so I'd like to know, because obviously these networks cost money, and I totally Sorry about that wire there. Really offensive wire. We're just sort of fixing the studio again, and wires everywhere. Yeah, that's really, I understand these networks cost a lot of money to set up. But sana naman, what I don't understand is the different charges. You've got some banks charging 50 pesos and some charging 15 pesos. Why that discrepancy? How can it be? How can one bank charge a third of the price or less than a third of the price than the other bank for the same product and service? So something doesn't add up for me there. Totally understand. You got to get your ROI. I totally understand this technology is not cheap, but if your bank can do it and the other bank can't, maybe it's time to switch. Just saying. So we also wanted to say a advanced happy birthday to Len, who's tuned in. Len upstairs, is that the Len? Okay, making sure, because Len is one of our Tito Clockers, but she now is part of the team. So we shared this with you a while back. So Len joined the team about I think it was August or late July, and she joined the team, and now she's part of the Tito Clock team, and it's her birthday, September 29. Happy birthday, Len! Woo-hoo. Congratulations. So thanks for all you do for us. We can't, we're always a team. So everyone here, XYZ, the whole team, we all just, if one falls apart, we all fall apart. Okay, we got other banks charge for over-the-counter inter-branch transactions. This is what I don't get. If you're going to deposit into somebody's account, well, okay, InstaPay, I kind of understand because I guess that's a third party. Unless somebody technical wants to correct me, it's a third party, not necessarily owned by the bank. So there's probably going to be subscriptions or some kind of software licensing. I don't know how these things work, but I am assuming that there are costs involved. But I cannot, accept that this costs 50 pesos to press a button. Yeah, I don't even think you're pressing a button. You're just, okay, your system was set up, but come on. Let's bring it to something reasonable, like 10 or 15. That should be okay naman. Because then, fine, you would have spent that on parking, etc. Because if you're going to go to the bank and deposit a check into somebody else's account, they won't charge you naman for that. If you're going to put cash into somebody's account, they won't charge you for that, right? So why would they charge you if it's electronic? It's again, a system yan, but they also have a system of hiring people and electricity and rent and all that if you're in the bank. So why not just bring it down to something reasonable? Yeah, I think it's no longer because the Bayanihan Act, I think, is over. I think that's what they're citing. October 1's finished. Diba, Irene? $50 is a bit too much. I think, come on. Not even, there are delivery places that don't charge 50 pesos, right? And may motor na yan, diba? So these are human beings literally going to pick something up and drop it off in your place and then ride back. And they don't even charge 50 pesos for it. So I think it's a bit, nobody's denying anyone from making a living. But as Like says, every coin counts nowadays. I guess that works both sides, maybe for the businesses too. I get it. Everyone's trying to recoup their costs and stuff. I don't want to hate on anyone out there that's, trying to just sort of make ends meet. But, I can't get past the fact that your competitors will charge a third of the price for the same product. That I can't move on from that. So if it was like $50 across the board and they said, look, it costs 10 billion or something to set up the system, so we need an ROI, then fine, I get it. It's a business and it does provide convenience. And I, for one, don't ever want to go back to the days of lining up and stuff like that for something as menial and trivial as depositing a check or sending money. I really think that we've evolved, but yeah, surely you can bring it down. Isn't InstaPay BSP? Kenji, I don't know. You let me know because I'm kind of behind with that. But yeah, makes sense if it was. If that's the case, then like I said, claim your little fee. It's not about that. It's not about begrudging you for making money. It's just being consistent and being a little bit standardized with the pricing. And if it costs $15, charge 50, or if it costs $5 or $10, charge 10 or 15. That's fine, not 50. Union Bank's still my favorite. App fees, customer service are always reasonable. Well, I'm biased because I love RCBC. They're so far wala pa. I didn't see them on the list. So I didn't see what their charges are, but I love their app. I love how it works. And right now I just cannot imagine myself going back, because even check deposits and stuff now are all done by taking pictures and sending it through and stuff like that. So much easier. All I can say is pinapasa lang sa customer. That is how it always feels, right? So, at the end of the day, there's only one thing I think that people doesn't get passed to the customer. Ayun, wala na. X, nandiyan na yung music. Not just the music, but the punchline. See, I segued. There's only one thing we don't pass on to the customer, and that's raffle time, baby. Sorry, Alex. We waited. We waited as long as we could, but I guess he had some tech problems too. Anyway, maybe I can read Alex's plug, because Alex is a friend and he's a very talented young man. Yun, I said young, Alex. So I'm just going to help out by reading his message here. He's got, this is, okay, that's on September 20, so we missed that one. He's got a new podcast on Spotify. So that's what he wanted to come on board and share with us. It's called The Punchline, and it's with Alex Calleja. So there you go. I think the last lap follows on Spotify. That's the one he wanted to talk about. And I think the next one, Punchline, as well. So that's our man, Alex Calleja. Hope you can tune in, follow him on Spotify and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we missed him. I don't know if it was a tech thing, communication breakdown, a Tito thing, one or the other. It doesn't really matter because you really came here for the raffle. I know you. We'd also like to thank our good friends at Bridgestone, who have always been supporting the show since day one, and you can help support them back, and you can also help support the Hope Business for Good, because every time you avail of this buy 3 get 1 promo, you can now also help not just yourself by getting yourself some better tires, especially with this wet weather we're having. There's never been a better time to get yourself better tires than now. And now at Bridgestone, they've got buy 3, get 1 free, and all the proceeds will be donated to Hope Business for Good. So help them out as well. And of course, we're going to throw in the official Bridgestone caps to our winner today as well. So if you win our raffle for the Malabon Cravings, that's right, Malabon Cravings, if you win that raffle, you also get a free Bridgestone cap. So let's go, X! Someone's got to win it. May as well be you. Here we go. Well, oh my, this too. Alex not here and the raffle's not ready. So we got to stretch this a little bit longer. Sorry about that, folks. As I said, Fridays, especially when it rains, right? It's like, I don't know, everything slows down. The internet slows down. Cars slow down. People slow down. We get tech gremlins, tech problems. Even the raffle gets slowed down a little bit. But don't worry, X is doing that right now. She's just pulling out all of the goodies, all of the names out of the comments box, and that will be run through our software. And from there, we'll be picking out one. Oh, there's Alex. So, you want to patch Alex through? Alex is on. Oh, wait, he's not backstage. He's on Viber. Okay. Oh, well. We're just trying to wing this as we go along. Alex is on Viber, but he's not. No, it's too late. He's not on the thing. Unless he comes backstage and you can patch him through. If not, we'll go straight into the have you got anything planned for the weekend? I hope this weather just doesn't, this weather is now taking its turn. So we've just come from, my God, it seems like it's connected. We've had the Taal volcano, we've had this COVID, and now just when we come out of this, it's typhoon season. So this is what we're raffling off, right? Are we ready yet, X? Have we got that? Rocket ship is ready to draw out the latest raffle winner. Rocketeer, you want to join? You want to hit the button? Here we go. Sayang Alex Calleja wasn't with us today. Would have been a lot of fun. But anyway, we got to plug his show. So Rocket, press that button. There you go. Are you scared, Rocket? Are you tense? Who do you think's gonna win? Yeah, Emerson, hearing it. Dinner on us, dinner on the slopes of Malabon, Craving. Congratulations, Rocket. Congratulations. You want to say something, Rocket? Huh? What are you going to say? Huh? He talks. Here we go. All right. On behalf of Rocket, X, Y, and Z, we'll catch you guys next week. Same time, same place. This has been Tito James. Bye. Be kind to one another and wash those hands, Rocket. All right, Rocket.
Fancy meeting you in my internet. Couldn't help but notice your smile while everybody else around us is surfing about. Can we just stop and chat a while? Get away from these gray and boring, lonesome days of our quarantine. Early yet to say what lies ahead. It's just the first day of the rest of our lives. Love could be waiting at the end of this quarantine. Let's stop and talk a while. Let's stop and talk a while.